everyone. Welcome to Back at the Ranch, Expedition Online's after show. I am Jessica Martin. I'm filling in for the fabulous Danny Now this week. With me, I have Michael. Welcome to the ranch.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited to have you on the show today. I feel like you were so mysterious on the show a lot of the time. We didn't know what you were thinking, and I'm excited to talk to you and hear about everything that was going on in your head.
Yeah, I don't know if that was on purpose or I didn't know what I was doing either, but maybe a little of both.
Yeah, so how did you end up on Expedition Online? Where did you find out about us?
So I was just a random podcast. I listened to them in like their Facebook group, and someone posted in the Facebook group about we're doing this online expedition online. If you want to apply, go here. And I did, and a couple days later I found out I was going to be on it. So
Nice. Are you a fan of a show on CBS that we all really like, or did you just do this on a whim?
yes, I am, but I did just start watching in February, and I've
Okay.
only seen up through season 9.
Okay.
So I'm still
Still
kind of new,
pretty good
but
progress.
yeah, pretty good for only a couple months.
Very cool. So first day 0, everyone is just thrown in a room. What were your thoughts?
Um, just trying to, first, obviously, just kind of scanning the room and just looking at faces and um, kind of trying to get to know people. Um, I, you know, I didn't, I don't think there was too much strategy talk. I know the one person that I'm glad ended up being on our party was Trent, because he did, from day 0, he did say, I want to find a group of people that I can stick together and work with. Um, I also talked to some other people, and Lainey and Arliana stood out to me on day 0. We weren't really talking strategy, but just, talking about the game and kind of who we like and how we think it's gonna go.
Yeah, even just like meeting someone for a little bit, like you can know, like I want to work with this person. You get those first impressions.
Mhm.
So when the parties get picked, so that worked out pretty well for you that you got Lainey and Trent in the same party.
Yep.
But then unfortunately, you guys lose the first 2 challenges. The first vote off ends up just being the compass clue in a little twist. And
Yeah.
then the next day, you get like a double vote off when Rosemary and the Face Goddess just like announced that they're roommates. What
I
was going
know.
through your head then?
Well, so on that, after that challenge that we lost, I got pulled over to the other party. So I wasn't even at that vote at that Crossroads.
That's
So
right.
yeah, I came back the next day and was like also trying to figure out what happened. And yeah, but I I I mean, looking back on it, it doesn't really surprise me. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think the two of them were really understood how the game was going to go from the beginning.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they would have lasted long, even if they didn't, pull themselves out or so.
Yeah. But that was a deficit for you guys already. John Stuck goes. I don't think you ever interacted with him at all.
A little bit on day 0, I did actually. He was the other person. I did talk to him a little bit.
Oh, okay. And then after that, it brings us to the party swap. And you end up on the right side of the number, still on Shira, which is nice.
Yeah. It ended up 4-2, 4-2 on each side. I was luckily in the right numbers on our side. Um, that unfortunately meant that Lindsay and Austin were out there by themselves on the other side.
Yeah, you guys were able to abduct Austin the first night, which was nice. But unfortunately, he couldn't save himself after that. He didn't have any other shields.
Yeah. So me and Lainey liked Austin and wanted to work with him. So that's why we saved him for the first one. And obviously that pretty much sealed Lindsay's fate at that point. And then we won again. Austin was the easy choice for them at that point too. One thing for that challenge, after we saved Austin the first time, one thing I thought about, not seriously, but it was like, if we really want Austin, should we maybe lose this challenge to try and save him
Oh,
and vote off somebody from our side? Um, but it in this you can't take any chances in a game like this, so we we weren't gonna like throw the challenge or anything.
oh, that's an interesting bit of behind the scenes information. So then the next, which brings me to a question I do have. So the next challenge we have is where Jon Snow goes out. You guys lose. When I did an interview with him, he thought that your party threw it on purpose to get rid of him or Arliana. Was that true?
No, that was I think that was the ping pong balls. You had to stack the cups and then leave the ping pong balls on. That one was that was hard. That was a hard
It
one.
was hard.
I mean, well, for me, no. I can't speak for Trent because he was the last one to go on our team, and he did take a while, and Jordan beat him. I I never even got a chance to ask him that, but
It's a question I'll have to ask Trent then.
yeah, he actually may have now looking back on it. Um, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a really interesting crossroads. That was the night you guys abducted Robin, who decided to vote. Who did you vote for that night? Did you vote for John or for Arliana?
Okay, so here was our plan. I voted for Jon Snow. We right after the challenge, Doc said, we get to abduct somebody. We picked Robin, and immediately while we were still like in the challenge room, he said, "No way, I'm gonna vote and like leave myself up to get voted out in a random twist." And so like me, I wasn't even thinking that he would change his mind and vote. So we had a plan to vote, split the vote. Me and Trent were gonna vote for Jon Snow. Lainey and Carl were going to vote for Arliana. In case one of them had a compass, um, then the other person would go out automatically. And then if it was a tie, I wanted to vote out Arliana on the revote because I think she has more ties to the other side. Um, and it was very interesting because at that crossroads, Jon Snow was like he was fighting for his life, and he brought up Danielle that they had played a game before and that they did not leave on good terms. So he said he was more than willing to, if we saved him, he would vote with us going into the rendezvous. Um, but obviously, Robin voting threw that plan out the window. It was pretty much, I mean, we had done Doc's asked his questions, we'd gone through all the answers, and then he asked Robin, are you gonna vote? He just said, you know what, I think I am gonna vote. And then we went right to vote, and we didn't have like time to think about it at all. Looking back on it now, I probably should have switched my vote to Arliana because I knew from talking with Robin, I knew he was going to vote for Jon Snow because he didn't trust Jon Snow,
Yeah.
which was probably fair, which is kind of why I wanted to keep him at least till we made it to Crossroads. Um,
Yeah.
but it was like probably less than a minute between the time that Robin said he was voting and when we actually voted. So, you know, it was tough. Looking back on it now, after getting voted out, I could say that was probably a wrong decision, but at the time it could have gone either way.
Yeah, it's definitely a toss up in that scenario. And Robin just threw a wrench in it that you guys didn't really have time to react or talk about anything at
No.
all.
Yeah, it was a smart move by him. He got out somebody who probably would have voted with us going into the rendezvous.
Yeah, so this does bring us to the rendezvous where you guys are down in numbers a little bit. Did you have any idea that your name was on the block that night?
Um, I mean, obviously, yes, because we were outnumbered 5-4 at that point. So more than likely, it was going to be one of the four of us. Um, I thought I thought it was going to be Carl because me and Lainey talked to Arliana, and she said Carl. Um, but I wasn't totally surprised. Like I kind of was expecting Carl more, but that was because Arliana was the only one that I talked to from the Kibo party, which probably also hurt me to not talking with anybody else. But we just had to go so quick, and me and Lainey talked for a little bit, kind of looking for a compass or something to try and because we knew it was going to be one of the four of us, so we were looking for a compass together, trying to find it and maybe save one of us that way. When in hindsight, again, probably should have been talking to somebody else. But we talked to Ariana and we felt kind of good because she, we did, well, Robin technically saved her, but still, she made it out from our side. So I thought we could trust her a little bit.
Yeah.
We did pitch to her to vote out Danielle. Um, she said she would consider it, and obviously that didn't end up happening. But that was our attempt to flip the number there. Um, so yeah,
It seemed like that vote, Robin had all the power because it was down to you or Carl as the choice.
yeah,
And Robin wanted to use Carl as a shield for himself a little bit. And I think they had made a D0 alliance too.
yeah. That's yeah. It was tough. Um, so I wasn't completely like blindsided, obviously, because it was just the numbers, so I knew one of us. But I was thinking it was going to be Carl, but that's
Yeah. But hey, you got to the rendezvous, and that's what matters. That's like the good stamp you can put on your resume. I made the rendezvous.
yeah, yeah. That was kind of a goal. Well, first goal was obviously not to be the first one voted out, and then after that, I wanting to make the rendezvous. Being the first person on the jury is not great, but at least I was
Hey,
on the jury. Yeah,
it's still good. You made the jury, you weren't first boot. Those are two things you can check off your
yeah,
expedition checklist.
yeah, yeah.
Would you play again if the opportunity ever came up?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've thought about all of the different things I could have done, and like maybe you know day zero, maybe I should have tried to make an alliance with somebody, and or so here's a couple things that I've thought that I should have done better. Day zero, maybe try to make an alliance with somebody there, and then on that first challenge that we lost, I got pulled over, and at that point, I really should have tried to work with somebody there, just because that was a unique opportunity that nobody else on our party had. So I
Yeah.
probably should have taken advantage of that more. And then obviously, like I said, probably should have switched my vote to Arliana at the vote before Rendezvous, and then we could have had Jon Snow at least for the first vote. I think he would have voted with us. After that, I don't know what would have happened, but at least for that first vote, I think we could have got him to vote Danielle out. And then obviously just trying to talk to more people once we actually made the rendezvous.
So it sounds like you've spent some sleepless nights thinking about this.
A little bit.
Well, hey, you're prepared if you ever get a call back again.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely down to do it again.
Awesome. Well, we're so happy we had you on our season. We're glad you had fun. Do you have any final words for the people?
Um, I will say when going into the game, I was like, okay, you can't trust anybody, and like obviously everybody's trying to scheme, and I found myself trusting people probably a little too easily, maybe. Um, but me and Lainey were tight the whole game. I think we were 100% trusting each other. So I think, but other people like Robin, I probably shouldn't have trusted as much. And like I know that, but it's like once you're in the game, it's totally different. But
Yeah.
it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Some people are smooth talkers too, and they
Yeah,
just, as much as you don't want to trust them, they make you.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, thank you for being with us here tonight. This has been Back at the Ranch, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks.